you know, what kind of safety equipment do I take with me, or what kind of repair kits would I use? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover that with you guys today. So if you look at this pouch on the front here, that is a storage compartment for all the tools that are needed for any kind of ride that you may go on. Oh, sorry, guys, that sun is glaring through here. Let me get a better perspective here. And then the two bags at the bottom are the same. But the two bags at the bottom over there, they're mostly for gloves and winter gear and that sort of stuff. Stuff you don't want to take out into the store with you. But what I have in here right now, the alarm system. What I'd like to point out before we move on is right down here, this is not only is it a light, but it is also a battery bank. Excellent dual purpose device. I really like that. Which is pretty awesome. Like he's got cyborg eyes, if you see that. Okay, so yeah, let's get on to it. What is it that I bring with me? Let's dive in. Let's take a look. Absolutely nothing. Just joking. I'll show you. Follow me. Right, so here we go. This is the stuff that was in there. I took it out and I brought it out here. The reason I did that is because now I have two bikes up and running, and they're both going to be out on the road quite frequently. And I wanted to do side-by-side comparison videos in order for me to, you know, be able to do like this bike versus that bike, you know, just some ideas for future content. But this is what I ultimately was carrying in that pouch that you saw in the front of the bike there, the Manta. Now, let's go over what we got here now there. But the issue that I had was that this equipment that you see right here needs to be halved and shared with my other bike that we have up and running. And I'll show you why. You saw the two pouches. The pouch that, you know, this gear goes in, it all fits in that one pouch. Let me show you the other one. Hold on one sec. This bike. So right over here, guys, at the back of the bike, I have a storage pouch, and that storage pouch over here is what I'm going to be using to carry some of the gear. But anyway, you can fit my whole hand in there. Anyway, it's a lot of storage space, a very, very, very big storage unit. And then on the other side over here, it's got another spot where you can put some other gear and organize and whatnot. So anyway, I wanted to use that pouch, okay, so that for the tool bag, because when this bike goes out on long rides with me, at least I have gear with me to be able to do any kind of repairs that I may need. Okay, so let me go ahead and shut that real quick. The nice thing about this bag is that it actually detaches quite easily. All you have to do is unstrap the strap back here, and then it's got a clipping mechanism right here. I've actually connected everything to the top of that clipping mechanism, so all you have to do is just unclip it, and this entire bag will pull off easily. So that is a massive, massive feature that I really, really do like about the bike. This rear view camera right here is attached independently, and it's attached to the top of that. So when it slips off, it's kind of nice and easy. Really, really like that feature. And that's the rear view camera dash right there, guys, just so you can see it. But anyway, back to the tools. I just need to figure out how I'm going to get the tools from this bike over here, tools from that bike over there, into this bike over here, while simultaneously keeping it both functional. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so here they are laid out again. So one of the things that I can notice straight off the bat, if I point it out to you guys, is right here I have a multi-tool, and right here I have a multi-tool. This particular multi-tool has pliers, which is fantastic, which is why I bring it along. It is also heavy, okay? Now that multi-tool, along with this multi-tool, let me pull this one out for you, okay, and I'll explain what this is for later. This is for all the wheels. Rear and front wheels for the Gemini wheel set. This will basically help me tighten down or loosen and repair any tires or anything to that degree. But this multi-tool over here, okay, let's move the mouse out the way, okay, has a number of things as well, but what it does not have, unfortunately, is pliers. But one of the biggest things that this thing has that multi-tool does not have, and that is it can be converted into a fantastic multi-tool from the company Rock Bros. I really like it. It does not have pliers. Which is not very good. It would have to be something like this. Yeah, because that's very lightweight. We'll go ahead. This one now will then go into the other bike. We have a spark plug over here. Okay, that's just in case we foul a spark plug, okay? Now this bicycle pump is going to have to be interchanged between the two. Back over here to obviously the wheel socket. This is something that I'll need to get exactly the same size and put in that bike. So let's go find that. Okay, cool. I found one. Okay, cool. So zip ties are definitely a must. You definitely don't want to overlook this one, guys. Of course, the spare magneto. This one is the cable. This cable is what I use to plug into headlight device, which then acts as a charging. And the reason I need that, guys, is because I go out in the back country here, use my phone to capture footage, and it runs out of battery. Cool. So the next thing we're moving on to is this one right here is like what I consider my handlebar and clutch system repair kit, excuse me. Anything on the handlebars that may have broken, or waterproofing that may need to be happened, may need to hold the throttle cable in place or something. Your clutch cable, so all the different sizes. Okay, yeah, I'm probably going to leave this one out. So yeah, let's put this on in a different pile. Let's stick that over here. Okay, so back to this one. Now, inside here we got some cables. I'll split them up. I've got clutch cables, throttle cables, and I'll split them up and just, put them between the two. Now, that being said, I need to find a housing system for that. Let me go find that, and then when I will split everything we've just reviewed, and I'll put them into two different containers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so instead of splitting this cable, just come wham over here. This Jaguar right here, it's what I run on all my bikes. I have a spare one. I'm just going to toss that in there. Bang, easy, solved. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to, guys, is this here. Now, this one is really heavy. Okay, this is a big box of a whole bunch of different need to fix an engine or, a clutch system or anything like that on a motorized bicycle. Okay, cool. There you go. I've separated them too. So separated the two, excuse me. But what I do need to do is, I believe it's called an angel nut, or a wing nut, angel nut. What do you call that thing? Shit. Okay, yeah, I just had to quickly go grab another spare one of these, so that I could put it on this side as well. And it's important to have these because you need to be able to repair your clutch system at any point, guys. And then keep your smaller stuff separate. Now they're both even. They both have exactly what they need. What's in this? So moving on to this, in this pouch I had a very specific tool, and then I have extra fuel line over here. Here's some spare clutch pads, a spare tachometer battery. Here's the other tachometer battery, that's going to go here. Here I have a drill bit head, and I'll show you why I have this here in a little bit. I have an angled little drill bit, which is fantastic. That fits on top of there, and that allows me to get into different angles. Quick, watch this. 1, 2. There it is, guys. So what happens is that tool basically converts or gives me the ability to have a ratchet out in the field. And then it also doubles as an Allen wrench. For Allen keys, you can also swap out that end bit for other drill bits, which are all drill bits that you will need on a motorized bicycle. Okay, then if you remove the little ratchet, then turns into a screwdriver as well. It's going to save you from having to call your people to come get you. Anyway, I like this tool, guys. It's very, very cool. How exactly I'm going to get something like this to fit in that pack. So there you have it. This tool is also another fantastic tool. Keys, star, etc. It's over here. And then at the back you have all your Allen keys, all the sizes you would need. Okay? The two tools, that one and this one. I'll just use this ratchet, and I'll attach this ratchet to this repair kit because it's not very large. And then we'll keep that tool as a ratchet setup on this side. Okay, cool. So it looks like we've been able to split both of the repair kits. One on the left is for the Manta, one on the right is for the Blue Lagoon. So let's go over everything real quick. So we got your multi-tool, which has ratchet capability. Not necessarily the best for the rear wheel, but it will work for the one for what we need. You have a set of pliers here, a small set, very lightweight. We had to split that up because we couldn't have two of these. I don't have two of these right now. This is for the rear wheel socket. We have a rear wheel socket repair over here on the right hand side. These are clutch pads, extra clutch pads. That's because the Manta does not run the BTG. It doesn't need the BTG. It doesn't have the power required for the BTG. So I have replacement pads there. Then we're going to move on to the charging cable, which is what we need there. Got a spare charging cable over here. Then we're going to go into the clutch cable repair slash throttle cable repair kit. Excuse me. And there it is over there on the other side. And then we're going to go into the ratchet. Here's the ratchet capability. Yes, because this one didn't have enough power, so we're going to go with this one, and that should do the job. Okay. And then what's that? That is extremely beat up. Wow. Okay, that's hilarious. That must have come out of my spare jar. Let's just put that to the side for a second. Okay, and then we have fuel line over here. We have spare fuel line over here. And then inside here, we have all the other little bits and bobs that you may need. Okay, all right, that's in there. Nice, looking good. And then on the other side, let's open up this bad boy and see. Okay, let's open up this one and take a look. Yep, and everything you would need right there to repair out in the field. Okay, well, last but not least, we got an extra magneto here. And then this is the primary toolkit here that we'll be leaving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to consolidate everything into, I'm going to do the same on this side, and then I'm going to start packing it in the bikes, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like in the bike. But there you go, 2 separate repair kits. This, guys, is what I consider essentials for when you're going out there on long trips. Okay, you don't really need this stuff if you're going on short trips around your neighborhood and you're doing speed runs. That's really close to home. But if you do long trips like I do, you're going to need some insurance. This is what I call insurance right here, along with a GoPro. A GoPro is also good insurance. Ride safe. Okay, cool. This is what they look like consolidated. So here it is, 1 and 2. Both these bikes are in riding condition right now. And what we're trying to do at the moment is just ensure that everything's in place for a nice long ride. That's what we're doing, guys. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the love and support.